Oh, it is on. Hello. I am getting. Oh wait, I need to hear this. Hold on. I have to check my YouTube, my live. Oh wow! It is live. I'm still getting the hang of. I don't think anyone's here yet, but that's okay. I am going to also check my Facebook. Oh, there I am. I'm live. I didn't announce going live because I'm still getting used to my new app and I really think it's cool. I'm not going to be on for very long today because I didn't announce going live. Oh, I'm just distracting me. I'm distracting myself. I'm not going to be on for very long today because I need to go to the page so that I can find the chats. So if you want to chat with me, if you have any questions, you can put them at the top. So on Facebook, they're at the top. It's a hyperlink. You have to go into the app to see me. And I think hold on, the shopping app. Oh, there it is. There I am. Do you guys like my new glasses? I got new glasses. They are from Covery, and the model is called Ginger. I am Lela, wearing ginger glasses, and they are the founders are two Asian women, very elegant, super lovely, and I met them at the licensing show in Vegas, and they knew of my artwork and me, and they asked if I would do an artist spotlight for them. So I was excited to do that, and really what they sold me on was their glasses are made for Asian nose bridges, so they don't slip. So I'm not doing this all the time. So I have several pairs of other glasses where I am doing this a lot. This I don't really have to do that, but they look so good, right? I like the translucent because they're like a pink, a light pink. I think they're really pretty. I like them there because they're a large frame and I have a round face. So I did a photo shoot for them and I did not get hair and makeup because I don't know. I felt like that was really fussy, but I should be fussy because I think my hair looks frizzy in the pictures. But um, anyway, the spotlight is really cool. They asked Florence wrote some really thoughtful questions, so I was very happy to answer them. So the spotlight is I think their website is shopcovery.com. You can go there and look at for their blog posts and I think you can find me. So I'm also teaching a how to draw comics art class Oh my God, I have one eyeball. I have one visitor. So write something. I'd love to chat with you. So I'm teaching a class at their flagship store in Costa Mesa on Saturday, October 25th. And the class is going to be at 12 noon, from 12 to 1. There is an admission, however, and you have to register. However, the cost is defrayed by the free book that you're going to receive. The reason we did this is to charge an admission was so that people actually showed up, because then if it was free, no one was shown, I'd feel really lame. So we agreed to this, and then I have some books from the library. Do you know that I learned how to draw? Um, I had learned how to draw from the library. Oh, let me show you my books. I learned. I'm a self-taught cartoonist, and oh my God, where are my products? I'm a self-taught cartoonist, and I taught myself how to draw comics by going to the library. So I have checked out. Is my book up there? Oh, it's not displaying. So I have wait, is it showing? Yes. Okay. So that's showing. Hold on, let me go off camera. I'm showing. This is You guys, this is my best-selling book. It sells like 5 times more than my other titles, because I think it's just really very specific and accurate. And I actually was told by somebody who picked this up and read through it that it was triggering, which means I did a good job. So sometimes people, I just warn them. I say it's really, I hit the nail on the head. So if you don't want to get triggered too much, like maybe get a different book. Like like maybe get something else like this one. And like when you're ready, you could get this one. But then the people that are like really ready to go there with me and poke fun of how they were raised, uh, they like really love it. So that's this book. What was my point? Oh, so I'm a self-taught cartoonist, and I learned how to draw comics from. Wait, hold on. Let me find my other products. I learned how to draw comics from. Okay, I'm not finding that. Oh, there it is. See, the reason why I didn't want to advertise this is that I'm doing this live event is because I'm a little rusty. I'm new to it. I'm learning it. So, the second book. Well, this was actually the first book, The Angry Little Girls. So I went to the library and taught myself how to draw comics by checking out all the books I possibly could about comic strips. And I think I really checked out every book. So I went to, I live in Los Angeles, and my sister was at UCLA. So I lived in her apartment because I couldn't live at home. And so I left there without asking. I was like, I can't. And she was like, okay. And then so I lived there. But I went to the library, and I could have gone to the UCLA library, but it was just so hard to park and whatever. So I actually drove to the Beverly Hills Library, and that was where I checked out every single book there could have been about comic strips. So really, and I don't remember all of them, it was so long ago, but I was reading them for how they set up panels, for jokes, for line quality. I was really inspired by Gary Larson's Far Side, and his Far Side. I mean, I don't know how he does it. He tells a joke in one panel, and I think that is really hard. I mean, that is, talk about like efficiency, and also having to um I don't know, pare down the joke to like one image. So I attempted to do that style. I did about 3 comics of that style, and I gave up because it was so hard. It just was hard. So I actually really liked uh, Matt Groening's Life is Hell, and I read that in the LA Weekly every week, and I just thought it was so funny. And it's so simple too. The lines are so simple, and the dialogue is really clever, and I just liked it. It was just fun. And then I also really like Jules Pfeiffer. So Jules Pfeiffer was another cartoonist, and he actually uh, drew for the Village Voice in New York. And I also liked his style because his lines were so simple and clean. There was never any backgrounds. It was just a character with a prop, and I really dug that. I liked how simple that was. Um, and I also liked the subject matter. It was a bit political, a bit existential, um, very aware of itself, and poking fun of the crises of sort of well off New Yorker types. I just thought it was really fun. So I really liked him. Matt Groening's Life is Hell, and of course Charles Schultz's Peanuts. I mean, how can you not be influenced by that if you're a cartoonist? Um, yeah, it was. I mean, he's the master. Um, so I read definitely read those 3 cartoonists. I also read um, Garfield, Calvin and Hobbes, uh, Kathy. Um, what's the one with the Marmaduke? Heathcliff. I mean, I read all of them. I also got the comics in the newspaper. I didn't have a subscription to the LA Times. I think I was too broke to actually get the paper, but somehow the paper I got that. I don't know how. I think it was because I lived in a my sister lived in a condominium complex, and there's just, spare papers always kind of like being recycled or something. So I was always able to get newspapers and read the comic section. So, yeah, and then there was one particular, while I'm talking, I'm going to put the books out. So while I was um, teaching myself how to draw comics, um, there was one particular book that, because, so I'd also go to the art store and I would get tools. I would get pens, I would get paper, I would get pencils and all kinds of erasers. And it's very overwhelming because there's a lot of different tools you can use. Um, but what was good about comics is it's really basically a pencil and paper and a pen. And what is variable is the pen because of the stroke line and sort of the personality of the ink that the pen will leave on the strokes. So I had tried a mechanical pen, not a mechanical pen. Actually, I have some pen. Hold on, I have to go on camera to get the pens that I am referring to. So these are drawing pens, and I just have them just to have them, but I don't really use these. I don't like how the line quality is very like this is here. I'm gonna be all millennial or whatever generation alpha. I don't know. If I had nails, I'd do this tick tick tick, but I'm not. And so um when I drew with these, I didn't really like the line quality. I didn't feel like it had a lot of texture. So I was kind of thinking I had to to draw, because so Charles Schultz inked with a dip pen. So he had I think a calligraphy pen in different nib sizes, and then he would dip it into his inkwell. It's super messy. So I got one of those. I tried it out. I was like covered in black ink, and it was just like a mess. And I really did not like that process. And also, I just felt um, like there had to be a more modern, updated way to do that. I mean, I felt like I wanted to keep the line quality, but not the mess and the process. So I had gotten this book from the Beverly Hills Library, and here, let me display this book. And oh, I already displayed these. Oh, look at that. So I checked out this one book, and I saw he had a pen that was not a dip pen, but it was calligraphy, and he had turned it. The picture of the cover, he had turned it so that the brand was not photographed for trademark purposes. So I was like, wow. So I looked at I read his book, and I studied the line quality, and I was like, I love the way that pen works. Like, I like the way it inks. I like the way it like, I just, that's the pen. And I had already gone through so many pen iterations of mechanical and, like, you know, whatever. I just tried a bunch. And so I took a chance, and I emailed the author if he could tell me the brand of the pen that was in the photo of the cover that he used for all of his illustrations in the book. And he replied. So he told me, I'm gonna get the pens. Hold on. Just going off camera. So he told me, I'm not sitting the right way. I'm sitting kind of like a dude on my stool, but I don't want to sit with the back on because I don't feel like it. Anyway, so he told me he was using a Rotring art pen, and he explained that they have different sizes. So his was, I think, a 1.1 that he used, and I immediately went out and bought them. I bought one, and he explained that there's different line qualities of the nib. So the nib is really the tip, and it's kind of the width or the narrowness. So I went and got a 1.1. And I think I bought a bunch. I bought like probably a 1.1, a 1.2, like, I don't even know all the sizes, but I use four sizes, and I switch. So B is for bold, and you can see the nib is more rounded. So that's what I use when I'm filling out text, when I'm writing out the text, and also inking the lines at the sides, like the borders, and the three panels. So the three rectangles that are the three panel joke setup. So I use B for that. And then I use 1.1 for the characters. So the characters, their face, their hair, their body, arms, fingers, legs, skirt, everything. And I leave the face, and I use extra fine, EF. EF. So extra fine is good for the little eyeballs, or not eyeballs, but their eyes, because they don't have eyeballs. I mean, they have eyeballs, but they're not like, it's the only eye. It's like a dot. The dot for their eye, and the dot for their smile. Um, and then if I have like a scene with grass, I'll put this in as a blade of grass, like three little lines. And I keep my backgrounds really simple because I just really love the simplicity of Life is Hell and Jules Pfeiffer's People. Um, M is medium. This is a medium. So I don't use medium as much, but if like I'm drawing a purse or a prop that needs a little bit more weight to the ink versus an extra fine, because this is like too light. Um, I will use a medium pen nib. And what's great about these pens is, wait, hold on, let me see if I've got them. I know that this one is low on ink, so if I pull out the cartridge, it won't make a mess. But so what's great about these is that you could just unscrew it, and there is ink. So there, I'm gonna just, this is the ink cartridge. This is the ink cartridge. So I have a bunch of these in my drawer, and when I run out of ink, like this is actually, I probably need to switch this out because there's just like one drop that's spread out into the cartridge. But you plop it in, and it pokes a hole into the cartridge, and it comes out in the pen, and there's no dipping. There's no dipping. So that artist, that author that wrote that book, I owe a debt of gratitude for him, because this is my jam. This is my tool. The other thing that I learned about, uh, like for me, I have not strayed from these tools. The other thing that is foundational is my paper. So my paper is, I always use Strathmore art paper, and I use two sizes, but I'll just show you the small size because it's easier for camera. Hold on, I'm going off camera. Oh, what the heck, I just brought both. So this is actually the one that I always use. It is 11 by 14, and it is the Strathmore Bristol. There's 20 sheets. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 14 by 17. 14 by 17, it's the 300 series, and the way I remember it is it's got this basket of yarn right here, but I've tried switching brands, but I just really like Strathmore because it's very reliable. I know the paper. I'm just so used to the paper that I don't like other paper. And then this is the 11 by 14. This one's the 11 by 14. So if I have a comic where it's just one panel, I will use this. And then if I have a comic strip that is 3 panels, I will use this. So I favor this one because most of the time my comics are 3 panels. And those are my tools. Those are what I draw on um for books, for all the books that I've made. Oh, I wanted to show you. Since it's Christmas time, Christmas is coming up, um, and I drew this book because, wait, let me go get it and pull it up. So I drew this book because I was picking up my son from school, and it was grade school, and I think he was in 3rd grade, and he saw me and he ran up to me very urgently and was like, "Mom, Mom, Mom, the big kids are saying that Santa's not real. Is that true?" And I was like, uh, um, and I didn't know how to answer that. So I think I like diplomatically said that Santa is a spirit that we all as adults carry on, but that Santa was a real person. And I kind of got that right because it was Saint Nick. And so um I thought it was kind of on brand though for me to write a book about this, because I always had like this post-it about uh, the angry little girls discover that Santa is a lie. I mean, it's on brand that angry little girls would be angry that they were lied to, because it's all about like the transition from being a kid to like finding out the truth that the world is a little bit harsher than we were promised it would be. Um, So I took it upon myself after that. I was like, okay. Oh, actually, no. I actually didn't want to. I felt really bad about um, I felt really bad about letting the cat out of the bag, so to speak. So I remember I was shopping, um, probably the next Christmas. I think I sat on it. So another year went by, and I was shopping around the holidays, and I heard two moms, and the mom was saying to the other mom, I don't know what to do. Um, Johnny is asking about Santa, and I don't know what to say. And I was like, okay, I've got to draw this book. So I drew the book, I researched it, and of course, I drew on my Strathmore Bristol paper. I used also my pens. Also, I draw with a HB art pen. I'll get it later, but I'm talking about my book. So what fell? Oh, so I drew this whole book researching Christmas and traditions, and I felt like it does a really good job of explaining how Santa came to be. Did you know Santa was actually in America was a concoction made by the advertising industry? So Coca-Cola actually commissioned a illustrator to come up with something that would make Coke drinkable in the winter. So this artist took Kris Kringle, or wait, what is it? Father Christmas from the UK, gave him a red suit with white trim, and then made him jolly, made him like have a white beard and all of that. And then the Coca-Cola ads with Santa, like kind of along with, there was a poem made by a pastor who wrote this Christmas poem. I think it was "Twas the Night Before Christmas." Wait, was it? I don't want to get that wrong. Look that up. But it was a pastor, and he wrote a poem for his children about Christmas. And so that with the Coca-Cola, and also the traditions brought over by, I think it was the Dutch. Yes, the Dutch. Um, it sort of like became a hodgepodge, like a a mixing of all these sort of elements, and then we got our commercialized Santa that actually a lot of kids think is true. So so yeah, actually Christmas Day. So please, religious people, don't come for me. But December 25th was not actually Jesus's birthday, but they moved it closer to this date because it was like just like um easier to celebrate along with other celebrations. Um and then yeah, so Saint Nicholas also evolved into Santa, Sinterklaas, and Father Christmas. And so in European countries, Sinterklaas is celebrated on December 6th or 5th. And then here's all these little pictures of the people, the little kids around the world that celebrate in different ways. I just love that. It kind of reminds me of like Disneyland, It's a Small World. So so yeah, that is how we got to come to our Santa Claus in America. And then I explained to my son, and also like to in this book to the kids, that now that they know, it is their turn to be Santas for the people they care about. And yeah, so that's my little Christmas book. I love it. It's really great. So they go home after they learn about the story of Christmas and Santa and how they are Santas now, and they go and make gifts. So I kind of feel like making gifts is appropriate for little kids because the pressure to buy gifts and all the consumerism, I think it's really, um, I don't know, it's like kind of takes away from it. Yeah, so I just felt like, they could make stuff or write a poem. So here's Zyla writing a poem. And then, yeah, and it was the Christmas that they learned that um, they, along with people all around the world, are the spirit of Santa. So I love this book. I'm very proud of it. Um, this is this is the spirit of Santa, and it was all drawn by hand on my Bristol papers using my. Oh, I'll show you the pencil. Show you the pencil. So I use oh yeah, it is Staedtler. A Staedtler art pen. No, art pencil. Art pencil? Mars Lumograph Staedtler. Made in Germany. HB for. I don't know what HB stands for. If anyone knows, just let me know. HB. What does HB stand for? And I also use a high polymer eraser. These are the best because they don't leave any marks and they don't tear the paper. So I only use this. I only use this. I only use these. Oh, and I wanted to explain that um, this is just a label maker because I store my pens flat so that the ink isn't so that the nibs are not dry. So I store it flat. I lay it flat so that the ink is kind of like already in the nib at the end, so that it's not dry and I'm not going like this to get the ink down there. And I also don't want to store it like this because it will pour out and clog and leak. So I store it flat, but like when it's laying flat, I can't see which size it is. So I made these little labels and so I could read it flat. So that's what these are. Those are just extra. They don't look like that. They kind of look like little armbands or whatever, little cigarette markers or something. But they don't look like this. They're usually black like this. And then that, I added my own stuff. But this is the Road String art pen. And maybe 10 years ago or something, they were going out of business. And I got panicked and I bought all the art pens I could off of Amazon and eBay. So I'm good. And also, really, all I really need is are the ink cartridges. So I switch. I'm not loyal with the ink cartridges, but I'll show you the ink cartridges too. I'll show you those. So I bought, I think I bought as many Rotring art pen ink cartridges as I could, these little boxes. But I have also another brand. I don't remember because I went to the art store and I'm like, I need these ink cartridges. And they're like, we don't carry Rotring anymore. And I was like, what? So I switched. But this is from my stash that I still have and I'm working through. So I'm good. I'm good, you guys. I'm gonna be trying these forever. So those are my tools. And that's it. So, ooh, I went over 30 minutes. I'm very proud of myself for staying on this long. The reason why I don't want to stay on this long is because this morning I got into a writing flow and I had to stop because I had to do some stuff. And I really want to get back to what I was doing because, like, I feel that sometimes when you're in that flow, you want to capture it while it's there. So I got to do it before it goes away. I mean, it won't go away, but it'll be harder to get back in. But I'm in it. But I wanted to come on because I said that I'd come on Tuesday at 5. I'm here. I was on for 38 minutes, or maybe 35 because it was a little bit late. I was 3 minutes late. But anyway, yeah. So I will see you next time. Um, I I don't know when. I have an event this weekend, so I won't be able to do it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But maybe next week, like maybe Tuesday. Tuesday's good. I might be out of town next week too, so we'll see. Kind of up in the air. I have a secret. I can't say. But anyway, have a great week and a great weekend. I will see you next week sometime.